Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of PC's Playbook. I am PC, and I guess this is my playbook. Um, Today I'm just going to be going over, you know, reaction to that insane Thursday night game, Texans Bills, as well as, game predictions for this upcoming Sunday with a special guest coming on. You'll like it. Just stay to the end, as well as a couple new things at the end, including some fantasy advice and a new segment. All right, let's get right into it. So this last Thursday, the Texans beat the Bills 23-19 in a very, I would say, pretty defensive battle. Getting 8 sacks in a game is always a good sign that your defense is, top tier. And it is really just a testament of how, good the Texans are. They have been a very good team for the past 3 years, ever since drafting C.J. Stroud and building, their team around him, and also building an amazing defense around these guys like Will Anderson, who had an amazing night. But now it's not even C.J. Stroud. It's the supporting cast they put around him is stepping up in such a big way that, they're 3-0 when he's not even playing. They've won their last 3 games without C.J. Stroud, which I'm not really sure if that means that C.J. Stroud is not their guy in the future. I'm not sure if that just means that they've, had good 3 games and they would have won by more if C.J. was playing. But it is very interesting to see how the Texans went from being a team that was not going to be in the playoffs at all to C.J. Stroud getting hurt, Davis Mills coming in, and all of a sudden they are beating the Bills, and they look like a playoff team because their defense looks better than ever and their offense can get movement. And they have Davis Mills going. They have Nico Collins getting actually yards, touchdowns, catches. And just to add on to that, they have a defensive line that can get 8 sacks, and then, defensive backs like Derek Stingley that can cover for them if they don't get 8 sacks. Meanwhile, the Bills, we've seen it. I told you last week, inconsistent yet amazing. They have these weeks where they win by 30. They had these weeks where they beat the Bucs in a high-shooting game, and Josh Allen has 6 touchdowns. But they also have the weeks where Josh Allen has 0 touchdowns, and they lose when Josh Allen has 2 interceptions to the Texans, who are not a team that looks exactly better than the Bills on most occasions. But the inconsistent yet amazing thing is really, really, biting them in the butt this year, because they have yet to show that they can really be a good team for multiple stretches of weeks, which is what you need to be a Super Bowl team, like they want to be, like their aspirations are. Their goal, as a team that has an MVP quarterback and is always a contender for the AFC title game, they want to be a Super Bowl team. And they can't do that when they're losing to these teams in these ways of, taking 8 sacks and throwing 2 picks and, just kind of letting them control the game. They let the Texans control that game the entire time. And now we're looking at a Buffalo Bills team that has to actually win some games to be a playoff team, especially in a race where they have to beat out the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to beat out the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are on a roll right now. They've beat out the LA Chargers, who have so many offensive weapons. And there's a chance the Bills and the Chiefs miss the playoffs, and maybe even the Ravens if the Steelers keep winning. It is so upside down this year that there's a chance that the Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs all miss the playoffs. And maybe the Texans can sneak in if that happens. If the Bills were to, drop out of the playoff race, the Texans would be the team to sneak in. It would be the Jaguars are already kind of in, and then the Bills drop down, and the Texans would be in. And the Texans, with Davis Mills, look like a team that could sneak in. They've won 3 straight with Davis Mills. Davis Mills played in that Broncos game that they lost, but C.J. Stroud started that game, and, they did better with Davis Mills. I've been saying this, not on this podcast. Of course, this is a very new podcast, but I've been saying this for a long time. C.J. Stroud is not as good as people think he is. His supporting cast is just so good that literally anyone could be good in Houston. And you've seen this with Davis Mills becoming the starting quarterback for a potential playoff team. And now we're seeing C.J. Stroud, looked on as wait, are we better without him? And they might be. And we're also maybe seeing the kind of, switched roles of Bryce Young got picked first, C.J. Stroud second, and all of a sudden, Bryce is playing better. C.J. Stroud is, his team is worse with him. So that'll be a really interesting storyline to watch. as Stroud comes back from injury to see if they keep winning games. Because if they lose games, if CJ Stroud comes back and they lose 2 straight, bench him. Put in Davis Mills. He's 3-0. I don't see why they would, in a playoff push, just say, oh, but he's our franchise guy. We want to let him grow. Sure, he's your franchise guy, but your team is better without him. So there's a difference between growth and also, wanting to be a contender. They are a contender with Davis Mills. They are not a contender with CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud will not win a playoff game this year if he plays in it. Davis Mills might. Davis Mills could beat some teams that are in the playoff picture right now. Davis Mills could beat the Steelers. Davis Mills just beat the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are a good team, usually, inconsistent yet amazing. So it is really going to be interesting to see what the Texans do with that. If they keep Davis Mills, even if Stroud comes back. And if they put Stroud in, what's going to happen? Because I don't think he's a good quarterback. I guess a good enough quarterback to be a playoff quarterback. He's had that good rookie year and then regressed since then. People figured him out. And when a quarterback gets figured out, there's nothing they can do. And it's just really hard to see a world where this team is successful with him. We've seen this year. He did not do great at the beginning of the year. He was not great last year. He had the less touchdowns than Bryce Young last year, who barely even played any games. So I am not really sure what his future is, but I'm not sure it's the Texans. I think what's going to happen is he's going to come back, get benched for Davis Mills, and then get traded in 1 or 2 years. Because we've seen him from that rookie year, MVP candidate in his rookie year, and then just plummet immediately. Which, I hate to see, because you're seeing the Bryce Young treatment with CJ Stroud now, but I guess in reverse, because Bryce is going up and Stroud is going down. So you hate to see it, but it's probably what's going to happen. For the Bills, they have yet to really find their identity this season. They have yet to really prove that they can be a Super Bowl contender. They beat the Chiefs, but they're 5-5. They're not that great. They beat the Ravens. They're 5-5. They're not that great. And they just lost to Texans with Davis Mills, although Davis Mills might be, the best thing that's ever happened to Houston. Probably not actually, but maybe. They do not look good against good teams. They beat the Buccaneers, and they looked amazing. That was a good team. But the Patriots, they looked bad against. The Texans, I'm classifying them as a good team because they have a great defense. They probably have the second best defense in the NFL right now. I'm classifying them as a good team. The Bills didn't look good against them. When Josh Allen is faced with a tough defense, he is folding. So far in this year, give him a tough defense, he is folding. I'm not sure if that can be upheld throughout the year, especially in the AFC where they have so many tough defenses, such as the Texans, such as the Broncos, that can really test a quarterback, and he is getting tested, and he is just giving up and just losing these games in games that they should have won. Their defense has made big strides. They are a good defensive team in the passing game. Their run defense is terrible. And that also cannot be consistently done and still be a playoff and Super Bowl contender. If you're, playing against the Colts in the playoffs, Jonathan Taylor's just going to go for 400 yards. They can beat a team with a good passing game and no running game. That can be obviously seen. But when a team has a good defense that tests Josh Allen and a decent, semi-decent running game, Woody Marks and the Texans, they destroy and just control the game against the Bills. When they are controlled, the Bills do not do great fighting back. And it's kind of tough to watch. So that's the storylines I'll be watching really from these two teams. It's the Texans is the future of CJ Stroud and if they can make a playoff push. And for the Bills, it's, if they do make the playoffs, which they might not now, especially if they, play the Patriots and some other tough teams this season and don't beat them. But if they do, how are they going to beat these teams? These teams look a lot better than them right now. They look a lot more consistent, less controlled than the Bills do. The Bills are getting controlled by every team that they lose to. Well, we have a very special guest coming on. My sister Lola, all the way from college.
Undisclosed college town.
Undisclosed. Yes. She's here to answer the age-old question of who can pick better at football games. Someone that does not watch football or someone who watches it religiously and podcasts about it. So last week I went 9-5, very decent. What do you think you will do this
So 9
this
is like
week?
the wins and 5 is the losses.
5 is the losses. I don't think this exactly.
So the total is 14.
I believe there's
right?
13 or 14 games.
I will
this
go
week, yes.
14-0.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's
That's my
exactly 14
guess.
this week because there's some
Right,
buys. but
13
you
or
think,
14, yes.
Okay, you think you're not
No
a single
flaws.
not a single flaw.
Because if you just go based off vibes, you'll be fine.
Yeah, she would be going off vibes. I would be going off of concrete
vibes,
analysis.
No. If they have a good vibe on their team, if they have good names, if they look like they're nice people, then they're gonna win. That's my analysis.
All right. First off, we have the Lions against the Giants. The Lions, of course, are coming off of a rough loss to the Eagles last week. Their offense didn't really do anything. And the Giants are, exactly the team that you want to play when you're coming off of that. So I have the Lions winning 31-17 just because, one team is 2 wins and has a third-string quarterback starting and one team is a Super Bowl contender. I also believe Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go off like 3 touchdowns just because the Giants' run defense has been putrid this year. Even though they have Dexter Lawrence and on the stat sheet should be a good run defense, it's just not been good this year.
All right, wait, can you name no. First, before I even guess, can you name me like the top 3 players on each team, and then I'll go based off that. Just the names.
Detroit Lions best players are Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, and Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay.
Jared Goff is the quarterback, Jahmyr Gibbs is running back, and Hutchinson is their edge rusher.
Okay.
The New York Giants, their quarterback, not their best player, but he's funny, is Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Their best players are probably Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter, who are all defenders, but have been having a kind of off year besides Brian Burns. He's been having a good year.
I'm going to go with the Lions because Hutchinson, Josh Hutchinson is an actor, and he was in Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson is an actor, and that sounds kind of similar. And I really like Josh Hutcherson, so I'm feeling good about this.
So we picked the same team there.
Correct. Okay.
So vibes.
The Lions got the vibes. I think. I think the score is gonna be like 45-14. Is my guess. 45-14. The Lions.
45-14. Lola.
Yes.
The Lions.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have the Ravens against the Jets. The Ravens are really going to roll recently. They started out 1-5 and are now 5-5. The Jets are the Jets. They're not that great. They have just benched Justin Fields, which could be a great thing for them, but I don't really see it working out. I have the Ravens pretty easily in this one. Lamar should have a big day, especially coming off of his rough week last week. I have the Ravens 27-13 against the Jets.
So, okay, the Jets and the Giants share the same stadium, right?
Yes, they are.
I feel like they both can't lose. Like, both of them can't have a loss.
Okay.
Because they share the same stadium. So I'm going to go with the Jets on this one.
Okay, the Jets.
The Jets are going to win because I feel like the stadium, MetLife, just has to have one win. I know that just simply because I went to Arizona there. Otherwise, I would not know that information.
Do you want to hear like the best players on other team?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Ravens' best players are Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, what's a good name?
Derrick Henry. And
Titans,
Kyle
right?
Hamilton.
Okay. I know who Derrick Henry is, actually.
Yeah, because I have a bunch of jerseys of him.
Yes.
And you got me a jersey for him in
Yes.
Tennessee.
Yes.
The Jets' best players are Bryce Hall.
Okay, wait, I already feel good about this because the Jets have a player named Breece Hall, similar to Bryce Hall, who is a influencer.
Garrett Wilson, who is injured and not playing.
Garrett Wilson, okay.
And their quarterback is Tyrod Taylor, who's very okay.
Okay.
So you still want to pick the Jets?
I still want to pick the Jets. We name it like other players on the Jets.
They just traded away like everyone on their defense. They had a guy named Sauce Gardner.
Yes, the Jets are winning.
They traded him away. They traded him away.
Oh.
They had a guy named Quinnen Williams. Traded him away.
Like quinoa. Quinnen. Jets are just good vibes.
Jets are going to win? That'd be a big upset. But
Jets are going to win because I feel like if the Jets and Giants share the same, they both can't. That's just too much loss for one area. East Rutherford, New Jersey.
They have a combined 4 wins this year, both those teams. So I'm not really sure.
You know what? I'm sticking with it.
All right.
The Jets are going to win.
The Jets, what's your score prediction?
It's going to be close, I think. I think it's going to be like 35-30.
Okay. Next up, very good game, Bears-Steelers. The Steelers are without Aaron Rodgers this week, so Mason Rudolph is going to have to command the sleigh, if you will, Christmas reference there. But the Bears are on a roll here. Rough start this season, but have since become one of the best teams in the NFC and really in the NFL. Now we're 7-3. Steelers really just have looked very meh. Beat the Colts, that was great, but without Rodgers, not really sure how they're going to function against a pretty decent defense in the Bears. So I'm picking the Bears 28-24. I picked against the Bears last week, and I'm sorry. That was stupid. But the Bears are going to win this week, 28-24. Lola, what do you got?
Bears versus who?
Steelers. Bears.
Wait, name
Steelers.
like the top players.
The Bears' best players are their quarterback, Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Offense is very as that. Kevin Byard is one of their safeties. He leads the league in interceptions.
Kevin Byard. Okay.
And then likely Roma Dunze is their third best player.
Roma Dunze.
I
love that.
Steelers, their best players are Aaron Rodgers is hurt, but besides that, they have DK Metcalf.
Ooh.
They have Jalen Ramsey.
Ooh, like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, like Gordon Ramsay. And last week, their best player is a guy named Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, wow. These are some really good names. I get good vibes from both.
Oh, I forgot to mention probably their best player, TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
I do not know how I forgot him. My bad.
I really feel strongly that the Steelers have better names than the Bears.
Better than Roma Dunze?
Roma Dunze. Okay, see.
DJ Moore?
Roma Dunze.
Luther Burden?
DJ Moore.
Luther
like
Burden?
DJ Moore.
Yep, DJ Moore.
Wow.
Luther Burden?
Wow. Okay, no, but I feel like there's more interesting names on the Steelers in whole.
May I suggest eliminate Zacchaeus?
He's on the team.
He's in the Bears.
Okay, Bears all the way.
Bears? All right,
Bears
so we're both picking the Bears here
both
because of
picking
eliminate
Bears, yep.
Zacchaeus, who does not play that much.
Wait, eliminate Zacchaeus?
Eliminate, I think. Eliminate.
That's amazing.
Like O and then lemonade.
Okay.
I believe.
They're winning.
Or Elamide, I don't know.
Yes.
And then Zacchaeus. He went to UVA.
Oh, perfect. Go Who's. That's
Go
not
Who's.
where I go to
Wahoo
school,
wah.
by the way.
Next up, Patriots Bengals. The Patriots on a giant win streak
I already
here.
know who's going to win. Sorry. Keep going, though.
Patriots on a giant win streak here, and the Bengals are without Joe Burrow. So this shouldn't really be too hard to pick. Joe Flacco is really yet to show how he can really win games with the Bengals, and Drake May looks like the best quarterback in football right now. So I'm picking the Patriots 27-20, but I probably think that it's going to be a bigger win than just 7 points. Lola, what do you think?
Bengals all the way. Every day, all day. Bengals. Bengals. Bagels. Good vibes. Never disappoints you. Sturdy. Consistent. Delicious. Bagels. Bengals. Bang. They're going to win.
Do you want to hear anything about either team?
No, I literally do not care. It's going to be the Bengals. Okay?
the Bagels?
Like, literally, you could not pick a better, like, vibes of a team name.
You know what? I like that. I originally picked the Bengals, and then I changed my pick last second.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Maybe it is the vibes.
Yeah, it's just the vibes. And then the score is going to be 37-27.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very Bengals score. They score a lot of points, but usually get scored on a lot as well.
Okay.
All right, next up is Packers-Vikings. The Packers have really yet to find an offensive identity ever since kind of that loss to the Panthers, go Panthers, and are looking for that get-back game, which is a perfect matchup to play against the Minnesota Vikings, who have been horrid recently with JJ McCarthy. So this should be, it might be a close game just because the Packers are on, kind of a skid offensively, and like as a team, they have not really found that spark, especially with Josh Jacobs gone. So I think the Packers will win maybe 21-20.
Wait, I have a question. Are these people all playing this weekend?
They're all playing tomorrow and then
Okay.
one game on Monday.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's Packers.
So are we going to
Vikings.
come back and analyze?
I next week I'm going to review
Okay.
this and
see who
we'll
got-
see who won, and
Okay.
I'll maybe get you on FaceTime for
All
that.
right, perfect. Did you make your...
I did. I
Okay.
said Packers by 1 point.
Okay, I'm going to go with Vikings because of that one Lizzo song. And he's like, new man on the Minnesota Vikings. So,
Lizzo did say that, yes.
Yeah, so I think they're going to win 45-40. It's gonna be a close one.
It's a lot of points.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You know what? I like it.
No. You're right. That was not good. 35-30.
Okay, yeah, sure. Either one would have worked.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay.
it's the vibes. It's all
Just
about the vibes. All about the vibes. Next up is the Seahawks versus the Titans. This game really is not too hard for me. I'm not really going to dig too deep into this one. I have Seahawks 35-10, just because the Titans are probably the worst team in the NFL right now, and the Seahawks are one of the best, and have been one of the best the past few weeks. Last week, of course, bad loss to the Rams, but the Rams are probably the best team in the NFL, period. So, against a bad team, getting that get-back game, I see it happening in a big way. So 35-10, my bad, Seahawks.
See, this is hard for me because the Tennessee Titans,
It's your team.
it's my team. It's not at all, but I do like the city of Nashville. So I don't know. I don't really know. I think in my mind, I know that the Titans are going to lose. However, who's the other team again?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks. Oh, but Seattle, that's where Grey's Anatomy was shot. That's where Grey's Anatomy was taking place.
The Titans have their best players they don't really have many good players.
Okay.
But they have Tony Pollard, who's not that great.
Yeah.
Cam Ward is their rookie quarterback, who's been really bad.
I really don't know a lot about football in any way, shape, or form, but I do know the Titans are bad.
And
that's the one thing I do know.
Jeffrey Simmons.
So I'm going to go with the Seahawks, also Grey's Anatomy. Bang.
You're going to like some of these names in the Seahawks, though.
In the Seahawks? I am. Yeah, I want to hear.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is their best player.
Ooh, I like that. That's
Sam Darnold. Not a great name.
Yeah, that's okay.
Tariq Woolen.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm thinking of some good names in the Seahawks.
That's really good. I love how do you have memory of all these players?
These are good players. I know these. It's like how you know Taylor Swift songs.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's just very impressive. I feel like basketball I can name more, but football I just have no knowledge in any way.
Kind of the opposite with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you could probably name a few.
I think college basketball is
yeah.
That's
you
my
go to games
domain.
And
that's my zone. College football for my college football team, I know, but outside in my conference division, whatever.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's just kind of NFL. That's all you.
All me.
That's all you.
So we're both. Are you going Seahawks or are you going Titans?
I'm going Seahawks. I cannot, in good conscience, say publicly that the Titans are going to win.
All right. Well, we agree on that one again. So maybe the vibes are.
Maybe the vibes are
good.
Yeah. There you go. And wait, you said a score? What was your score?
Mine was 35-10.
Oh. I'm gonna give the Titans some credit. I'm gonna say 30-20.
Okay. That's probably one of their better games this season.
Yeah.
Next up, maybe the game of the week. The Indianapolis Colts against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have been not good this year. They're 5-5. The Colts only have 2 losses and are probably the best team in the NFL through 11 weeks.
They're not good?
They have not been as good as they usually are. However, I'm not a firm believer in the Colts. That's why I am picking the Chiefs 30-24. I think they need that game to show that they are, still a Super Bowl contender, and this is exactly where it happens. I will be cheering for the Colts because I am a certified Chiefs hater just because they win too much. But I believe the Chiefs will win 30-24.
Okay, now you guys might be looking at my sweatshirt and you're probably thinking she's going to pick the Chiefs. No.
Oh.
I'm going Indianapolis because sorry, there's something in my eye.
Oh, good.
Indianapolis is really fun to say. Indianapolis. Say it
Indianapolis.
Like be ASMR
Indianapolis Jones.
Indianapolis.
Their quarterback.
Indianapolis Jones.
That's their quarterback's nickname.
Okay, I love that. See, the vibes are so good. I'm going in Indianapolis Colts.
Yep, the Colts.
It's gonna be a high scoring game because of all their quarterbacks. And
all of them? There's 2 total in the back.
Right.
I mean, there's all 4 backups, but they won't play.
So I'm thinking 40-30.
Okay.
Colts
win.
Yep.
I pick Chiefs. You pick Colts.
Yep. There we go.
Honestly, a better chance that you get that one right. Honestly.
Really?
The Colts, I believe, are favored.
Wait, what do I win, by the way? We'll discuss that at the end.
We'll discuss at the end.
Going. Yeah.
Next up is a very ugly matchup between the Raiders and the Browns.
Browns?
The Browns.
That's the name of an NFL team?
Yep.
You literally might as well call them the skid marks at that point. The Browns?
Yeah. They're not
like,
very
oh,
good.
sorry, I gotta go to the bathroom. I got the Browns. Like, I've never said that. But like, I feel like you could say that and you would know exactly what you mean. That's such an unfortunate name.
And they're really bad too. So,
wow, already off to a bad start.
Yeah, ugly matchup. 2-8 versus I think 2-8. I don't know if either of them are 2-9 yet, but two very bad teams. The Browns have their backup quarterback Shedeur Sanders starting, who was terrible last week and is still not great, I don't think. And the Raiders just are not great offensively. Their offensive line is the worst in the league. The Browns have a good defense, however, but their offense is putrid. Raiders are just very mid all around. I am picking the Raiders to win this 20-17 just because Shedeur Sanders is not, NFL ready yet, and Geno Smith is, although not great this year, a little bit more NFL ready and has a better team around him. I think just because of, Genty, and I guess the receiving core might be even better than the Browns, even though they only have Trey Tucker at wide receiver 1. And the Browns defense, although it's good, can't really do anything if your offense can do nothing. So I have the Raiders 20-17. What do you got, Lola?
Okay, the Browns were off to a really rough start, but I feel like I need to hear some of the names for me to make the decision.
Okay, so their best player by far is the best defensive player in the league, Myles Garrett on the Browns. They have a rookie named Carson Schweschinger. They have their quarterback is Shedeur Sanders, and their running back is Quinshon Judkins.
They're winning.
The last three I named are all rookies. The Raiders, however, have Ashton Genty, Max Crosby with 2 X's.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's cool. 2 X's to Max. I would totally name my kid Max with 2 X's. That's so sick.
And their quarterback is Geno Smith, who's very okay.
Okay, the Raiders have more, like, boring names, but they're actually, like, cool names. The Browns have better names, I think.
So this is very, like, also reflective on how the game should actually be going. The Raiders are a bunch of, like, very boring, and they're very, like, okay at times. Like, they're not great, but not, like, terrible.
Okay.
And the Browns have, like, some players that are really good, but the rest of them, like, kind of suck.
Okay. You know what? I think, how do I use this as an example? If you have a player or 2 mid-teams, but one of the mid-teams has slightly better players than the average of the other mid-team, I feel like that team is going to win. You get the logic?
I do.
Like, but the average skill on the Raiders is not as good as the best skill on the Browns.
True, but also the worst skill on the Browns is a lot worse than the worst skill on the Raiders.
But still, in chess, right, you got to have some strong pieces, right?
Yeah.
And if you just have mid chess pieces, that's kind of... you're not going to win. So
the Raiders have some good players. They have Max Crosby with 2 X's.
Yeah, but you said that the Browns ones were better.
Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the league.
So I'm going to go with the Browns. But it's going to be close. It's going to be like 35 to 25. 30 to 25.
All right.
Yeah. Yes.
This one also, I think the Browns are favored, so you might get that one right.
Wow.
Next up is the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Arizona Cardinals. The Jags coming off a huge win, like 35-6 against the Chargers, who are, contender, and the Cardinals have not been great recently. Jacoby Brissett looked good last week. He had the most completed passes in a game in NFL history, but they still couldn't win because their team is just falling apart in the past 2 weeks. So that's why I'm picking the Jags 27-16 in a big win for them that can really boost them into a playoff position. Lola, I think I have an idea. Yeah.
Okay, so for context, my family was and it still is very into the show The Good Place, and in that show, there was several references to former Jaguars quarterback Blake Bortles.
Yep, I have a jersey that was formerly yours.
I thought this was the funniest thing ever. I made it. It was like basically my inside joke. Like I'd be like, "Oh, is Blake Bortles playing today?" Like every day.
You drafted because she used to be in my fantasy league before she stopped playing, so we had to kick her out. Sadly,
right.
You drafted Blake Bortles first round.
Yeah, but this was this one season where he did like okay.
Yeah, he made the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Game.
So Blake Bortles was my first ever football person that I had.
And you had
not
a jersey?
even a crush on. No, I just like had an obsession with him. It was weird. Not weird. It was just like it was like a joking obsession with Blake Bortles.
Well, he's very retired.
Extremely.
You had a jersey of his, and it's now mine. And
yes.
I do wear it actually very commonly.
Yeah, they gave me a Blake Bortles jersey for my birthday. It was so funny. No, but just for that reason, obviously the Jaguars are going to win. And I'd say they're going to win. I liked your score, but I got to change it up. I would say like 25-18.
18? Okay. Next up, we have Cowboys versus the Eagles. This is a very tough matchup. Earlier in the year, the first game of the season, Cowboys-Eagles was a good game, and probably Cowboys would have won if there weren't for some crucial drops. Eagles also have yet to really pop out offensively. Their weapons have been really bad recently, but the way to fix that is to go against the Cowboys, who have probably the worst defense in the NFL. Jason Kelce is retired.
Okay.
The Cowboys, however, have found their offensive groove with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb both back from injury, although Pickens was never hurt, just CeeDee Lamb, but now they're both together and it's been really good. So for that reason, I'm picking the Cowboys 28-27 in a very close matchup.
Right. And what cities are both these in again?
What?
It's Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Philadelphia Eagles and
then
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Oh, I should have known that. Okay, so here, this is really, I have a lot of conflict with this because, number one, Dallas Cowboys, I did watch the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders documentary. It was great. Love the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Love the their no song.
They're what now?
Thunderstruck, and it starts like and then, but on the other hand, the Philadelphia Eagles have a Christmas song that is on my playlist.
They're offensive linemen.
The offensive lineman made a Christmas song.
Although one of them are retired now.
Correct. However, it is really funny, and you guys should all listen. So I have personal, connections to both of these. Personal vibe connections with both of these teams. So, but because it's almost Christmas, I feel like I should pick the Eagles because it's almost Christmas time and they made a Christmas song. So I'm going to pick the Eagles, and
it's not a bad take.
They're going to win because I feel like Philadelphia, where are they playing? At Philadelphia?
I would check that real quick.
Yeah. Because especially if it's at Philadelphia, I think the vibes are going to be good. I have a feeling. So I think it's going to be...
It is in Dallas.
Oh. You know what? I'm still going with the Eagles. The Eagles are going to win 35-15.
The Eagles are favored in this matchup, I believe.
Wow.
Or they should be.
Okay, there we go.
So you might be doing better than me right now.
Yay!
But I've made a few picks that are against the odds, but you've been pretty straight on this.
I didn't really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Next up is Falcons versus Saints. The Saints beat the Panthers last time they played and then had a bye week. But Tyler Shuck is still really a big question mark, and against the passing defense that, usually is the best in the NFL, and then, of course, Bryce Young proved that they're not. Pass defense is usually good. They should be able to lock up the Saints pretty easily. And the Falcons, with Kirk Cousins and with Darnell Mooney as their wide receiver one, still should be able to get some movement because it's the Saints. And as a Panthers fan, it hurts for me to pick the Falcons, and also hurts for me to pick against the team that beat us, but I'm getting the Falcons 33-13.
Falcons versus the Saints?
Falcons against the Saints. Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints.
Okay, I actually didn't know that, but I actually really like the Saints logo. I think it's cute.
A little
Yeah, I think the Cowboys and the Saints have the best logo in the NFL. I love the Cowboys logo.
Not the Panthers?
No, actually the Panthers is pretty good. Panthers is a good logo, I'd say. I'm going to go Saints on this one because they have a really cute logo. And wait, name the best players on the teams.
On the Saints?
Yeah, on the Saints.
Saints' best players are Cameron Jordan, Alvin Kamara.
Ooh, okay.
Chris Olave.
I like the name Alvin. That's cool.
Yeah. Chris Olave. And their quarterback is Tyler Shuck.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Saints. They're winning 100%.
But the Falcons... Their current quarterback is Kirk Cousins, but their guy who was usually starter, who got hurt, is Michael Penix Jr. Their running back is Bijan Robinson.
Wow.
Darnell Mooney is their wide receiver one right now.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
They got some guys.
They got some good names, but I'm still going Saints. And it's going to be 27-20.
Okay. The Saints are not favored in this one, but, they can always win. They beat the Panthers, and the Panthers beat the Falcons twice,
there you
so
go.
You never know.
There you go.
Next up, very good game, Sunday Night Football, Rams, Buccaneers. Rams are looking like the best team in the league right now, and the Bucs have kind of been on a downward spiral the last few weeks, especially without Bucky Irving, who will not be back this week, I believe. So that's why I will be thinking it's a close game just because, the Bucs are still a good team. But I think the Rams are going to win 34-33. Lola, what do you think?
I watched a show called The Buccaneers. It was really good. And I really liked that show. So I'm going to go Buccaneers.
Okay.
And it's going to be 30-27.
I mean, the Bucs are a good team. They can beat the Rams.
Yeah, the vibes are good with the Buccaneers.
All right.
Yeah.
Finally, the game of the week, Monday Night Football, Panthers, 49ers. I'm not really, I want to say the Panthers are so bad for this. Christian McCaffrey, former Panther, is on the Niners and will be absolutely exploding the Panthers defense because they have been so inconsistent this year. However, the Niners are still very injured, especially on the defensive end. No Fred Warner. And the Panthers have really unlocked their offense, especially with Rico Dowdle going off earlier in the year and then Bryce Young throwing for 450 yards last week. So, for that reason, I am going to pick the Panthers 28-27.
Okay, wow. I think I'm also going to pick the Panthers because I feel like they've been losing, but also I've been out of the state. And I'm back.
They've actually been winning more when you're out of the state.
Oh.
Lola.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been doing a lot better when you're not here.
Ooh.
Can you go back?
Can I what?
Like,
can I go back?
Can you get on the airplane and go now? Like by
I thought that the vibes would be better that I'm back in North Carolina, but maybe not. Wow, I have to rethink this. If they've been winning more while I'm out of state, and now that I'm back, they're not going to win, right? Like, it makes sense.
If that's maybe.
Yeah. So, in the 49ers, I'm really into the name, the 49ers. I think it's like the dumbest. It's not as dumb as the Browns, but 49ers is a pretty dumb name for a team. But I don't know. I just think what's throwing me off is the whole me out of state versus win ratio.
That's it?
That's the only thing. And now that I'm back, I think they're going to lose.
You can hear any of the names?
No, honestly, I think I'm very confident that the 49ers are going to win.
Wow, okay.
I'm very confident. It's going to be like 27-18.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my predictions.
Well, that was the last game.
Wait, but let's talk about what we get if we win.
Okay. If you win, which you honestly might, because you've picked honestly the Niners are favored to win also.
Oh.
You've picked teams that are supposed to win and might win.
Okay.
More than I have.
Okay.
So you might do better than me. If you were to win, what do you want, Lola?
What do I want? I want you to pick up the phone when I call you from college.
I do. I do, Lola.
No, but you know what? No, it's not that he picks up the phone when he's available, but if he's not available and I call him, he won't call me back when he is then available.
Okay, that's fair.
So I want you to call me back.
I will call you back. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want anything like material?
Literally, no.
Okay.
Actually, do you have any money?
I think I have 47 cents
Okay.
in my Apple Cash.
Oh, you know what you could do? Actually, no. Literally, you cannot give me anything. You know what? You can buy me. You could probably get McDonald's fries for 40 cents.
I could, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I have more than 40 cents, I think.
What could you buy with 40 cents?
I have a different card that
You owe me a McDonald's meal.
Okay, and if
it's
I
pretty
win, you owe me a McDonald's wheel.
Okay. But also, if I win, you have to call me back.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm going to get the microphone out of the way.
Deal. All right. Deal.
All right, so those were the predictions.
Yes.
Lola, you can stay on if you want to, but you don't have to.
What are you going to be talking about?
I'm going to be talking about fantasy football and just
okay.
like yapping for...
I think my work here is done.
Your work here is done? Well, thank you so much for
Yes,
coming on,
of course.
Lola.
I'm honored that PC asked me to be here. I will be on here anytime you guys want me to because, I'm obviously an expert. So whenever you want to hear an expert opinion,
I'll fly you in
Yeah,
for
of
the expert
course.
opinion.
I'm always willing, and I love you, PC.
Love you. So next up, I will be doing fantasy football starts and sits, just like I did last week. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, though, just because I have another segment I'd like to do later on in this podcast. But I'm going to be making, I think, 3 starts, 3 sits for this week, and basically basing it off matchups and why they are going to do good or why they're not. First off, start Travion Henderson. Yes! My dad just yelled out yes because we both have him in fantasy. He is going against the worst run defense in the NFL this week in the Cincinnati Bengals. I know it's so scary to start him when Ramondre Stevenson is in existence and playing. It's very scary. But Travion has had 30 the last 2 weeks, and playing against the worst run defense in the league, put him in. He is going to get more carries than he's gotten with Ramondre here. Ramondre also has still been limited in practices. He's not going to get that many carries. He might get, 40% of them, but during those 60% of carries, I expect, Travion to, if he gets 10 carries, get 2 touchdowns. Because the Bengals just are terrible defensively, especially against the run. Start Rome Odunze. He has a great matchup against the Steelers. Their cornerbacks this year have been so inconsistent, especially against teams that have 2 good wide receivers. We've seen that with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Now, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and even Luther Burden, throw him in there. So Rome Odunze should have a really big week. I'm going against him in fantasy this week. I don't like that, but I have to say it. Rome Odunze. Start Jameson Williams, over everybody. Maybe not over everybody, not over, these guys like Puka Nacua, but start Jameson Williams over a lot of people. The Giants have really yet to show that they can be a really consistent secondary. And Amon-Ra had a slow week last week. He might not be as involved as he usually is, which means time for more JMO ball. JMO is looking to have more touches, especially with Dan Campbell calling the plays. Dan Campbell has said, we want to get JMO the ball more. And when he gets the ball, he goes 90 yards for touchdown. He's the fastest person on the team, maybe even in the league. So start Jameson Williams. This may sound crazy because of all, the people you've seen out there saying start him, but sit Emmanuel Wilson. Unless you have, a random running back 2 at your current running back 2 slot, if you have the option between, Emmanuel Wilson or, maybe Trayvon Henderson or, DeAndre Swift, put in the other guy. Emmanuel Wilson is going against a very solid run defense in the Vikings that can really contain a running back. They can't really contain the passing, which is why Jordan Love is probably going to have a good week. But Emmanuel Wilson is a silly backup running back. He's going to get the carries as the RB1. Yes, he has the RB1 status right now. But he is a backup at heart, and he's not as good as the other guys and has not as good of a matchup as other guys like what I listed before and like other guys such as, I named DeAndre Swift, but even Ramondre Stevenson, even he's getting less carries than Trayvon Henderson against the Bengals, I like that better than Emmanuel Wilson against the Vikings. Definitely start Travis Kelce over everybody. The Colts have struggled to guard tight ends this season, and Travis Kelce's finally starting to ramp up. This may be his last season, but he's still looking like a young kid, in his 20s. And he has been getting the same amount of targets as he had in previous years where he's been that tight end 1, been the best tight end in the league. And we're going to see that a lot this week against the Colts. Sit Chase Brown against the Patriots, second best run defense in the league. It's hard to kind of say that he'll have a big week, especially that Joe Burrow is not coming back yet. As a consistent pass catcher, I can't really see him going off this week. He might have a good week, might have 10, 15 points, maybe even 15 points. I'll give him that. But I don't see him having anything more than that, especially against the Patriots this week. Avoid Daniel Jones and Michael Pittman this week. I feel like they're very iffy against the Chiefs especially. They have a very good secondary when it comes to guarding the pass. And these two, as a stack, are not going to be very consistent this week and have not been consistent in the last few weeks. And I see them having a really fall-off week. So here's my main starts and sits. I kept it very short just as I want to have the segment in. That segment is a segment I will be trying to do for a lot of my episodes. It is Hear Me Out. Now, it's not the traditional, Hear Me Out where, you put someone on a cake and you say, Hear me out. Someone blah, blah, blah. And then everyone laughs and it's like, ah. This is a football Hear Me Out saying, it's not very likely this is going to happen, but there is a way and I think it will. This week, my Hear Me Out is the Carolina Panthers will have a home playoff game this year. That means they win the NFC South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yes, they do look good. They look like one of the best teams in football right now. They have one of the best quarterbacks in football right now. It's one of the best receiving corps in football right now. Bucky Irving, great football player. Their defense looks amazing. All of that, I don't really care. The Panthers look good now. And so I am blinded by everything else. As a Panthers fan, I see Bryce Young do well. I see, Rico Dowdle still being decent. And I'm blinded by everything else. And I am just focused on us. And the Bucs having an easy schedule, the Bucs being good, I don't really care. Panthers having a hard schedule, Panthers being inconsistent, I don't really care. The Panthers are the best team in the league. Maybe not the best team in the league, but they're going to have a home playoff game. They need to probably sweep the Bucs to make this happen just because of how easy the schedule is for the Bucs versus how hard the schedule is for the Panthers. But that's not out of, the realm of possibilities to happen. They could sweep the Bucs. They could. That's why my hear me out this week is the Panthers will have a home playoff game, and I hopefully will be there. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. This is episode 2 of PC's Playbook, and I hope you had a really good time. Bye.